as much as I love slide, and I do, Derek Truck's my favorite guitar player, I hardly ever play it. So when I do, I'm rusty and I fret out notes um, and whatnot. A rare nighttime video for me. Usually these are in the morning or during the day, so it probably has kind of like a different tint in the room because there's no sunlight and it's just soft lights. Um, I ended up playing at church yesterday. Um, I wasn't scheduled, but something happened and I had to fill in. So I got to use the mini board that I've been building. Um, it did everything I wanted it to. It I don't even think I think I only used 3 pedals out of the, well, I guess 4 if you include the tuner. There's 2 pedals I never even touched. I didn't even need them, and I still got all the sounds I needed. Of course, I was just doing rhythm. There were no like solo parts or lead parts, but it did the job. It did the job really well. So I'm playing again this week, and here's a disclaimer: if you order something from Sweetwater, I live 1 state from Sweetwater. I can drive there in I think an hour and a half. It might be 2 hours. I think it's an hour and a half. I can drive there in an hour and a half. I ordered a power supply last Thursday morning, and I saw the checkout screen and I looked at it and I saw it was USPS, and I thought, God, they're gonna burn me. I should go FedEx or UPS, anything but the awful postal service, because they're inefficient, slow, and borderline incompetent. And I didn't. I took a chance, and then it said, hey, here's a tracking number. I click on the tracking number on like Friday because Sweetwater's fast. It said it'll be here Saturday. I was like, okay. I kept checking uh, the tracking site for the postal service, and it would not update. It kept telling me it was still in Indianapolis all day Saturday, and then finally it took off the date that it said it was going to be here. So there's no date now. There's just a tracking number, and it says that it's, I don't know, somewhere in Michigan. So it didn't come today. I don't know if it's going to come tomorrow. I would really like it by Wednesday so I can mount it under my board and get everything set. So I don't have to like carry my board and then a power supply and then plug all the pedals in. I just want to set the board down, plug it in, and go. That's frustrating. So I have that from Sweetwater. Um, hopefully it'll be here pretty soon. Um, there's something I wanted to talk about. So I don't want to like name channels. No one. He has the channel I'm referring to has a ton of followers, and a huge following. But he's been making videos that kind of diss amps, which is fine. A lot of people do that. And I don't know if the titles are to garner views. I'm sure they are. Views are hard to come by. So talking about how amps are dead and digital is the way of the future, and you shouldn't use amps, and it makes no difference, and yada yada yada. And my response to that, I wanted to respond to that a little bit, because I use both. Not much. I'm mostly amps, probably because I'm old. I don't know. I just like amps. I like to be able to sit down and just plug in. I don't like to have to figure out, run it through an interface, my computer. The studio monitors never sound as good as an amp, in my opinion. I get weird issues with my effects, and when I plug into an amp, it works for me. Sometimes I go digital. I have a UA Lion that I'll use from time to time. Some great sounds in there, but it took me a lot of tweaking things around to get it just right. And some guitar players love that. They love all the setting presets and all the benefits you get by having presets loaded, where you could just hit one button and a bunch of stuff loads up. And I admit that's cool. I don't have that. If you've watched any of these videos, or maybe you haven't, I have a really small pedal board. I'm going the opposite direction of having a bunch of effects, which is what digital would give me. It would give me a bunch of effects. And I know I can get an FR speaker and be able to like just use things on the fly. But I just like to be able to come in here, turn on the amp and play. And I can pick it up, carry it in the other room. I can play in there. If I'm jamming with some dudes, I can take my amp there, set it on the floor, plug it in, and go. If I were only digital, I would have to take a computer and some other, I guess, speakers or some way to get that signal out. Where an amplifier, especially a combo amp, it's built in. They can be kind of heavy. That's the AC-15. It's kind of heavy. It's kind of a pain to. I mean, it's not as heavy as an AC-30, but it's still pretty heavy. But it fits. It fits my playing style, and that's the point I wanted to make. Was that this is a really personal thing, right? That's why the tone is in the hands, and they say the tone is in your hands, because how you touch the guitar, and how you get sounds out of the guitar, and the settings on your volume, and how you hold your pick, and how you set up your, all of that is unique to you. That's why nobody sounds like you. And amps are the same way. They're personal. Personally, I like an amp. Some other people don't. They like the convenience of digital, and they don't want to deal with an amp and tubes, and sometimes you get dirty power and they buzz and crack and pop. Things can go wrong in them. You got to get them fixed. They're expensive and heavy, and it's more stuff to carry around. I get all of that, but it's personal. Just like this is a brass slide. I like a brass slide. Some people only do glass or ceramic. I have a glass slide. It's cool. I like the kind of the raspiness of this slide. That doesn't mean this is the best slide. Somebody may hate this. I like it, so I use it. I use 9 gauge strings on my guitar. So a lot of people hate that. I catch a lot of grief for that. Why I would use such a thin string. But I like it. I tried a bunch of different things. I tried 12s. Well, actually, I didn't try 12s. I did 10s. I don't think I've ever done 12s. I've done 10s. I did 8s. 8s were way too thin for me. As I would chord something, it would go out of tune. It was not my thing. But Billy Gibbons loves them. Yeah, he's pretty good. He's got a good sound. Better than me. But I like 9s, so I use 9s. Let's see, slide, strings, pedals. I love the ODR1. And not just because a lot of the players I like to watch like it. I like the sound of it. It sounds like me. And especially when it goes through this amp, like that pedal through that amp sounds really great. And it's inspiring to me because it's a personal thing. I'm not a fan of tube screamers. Some people love them. They're just not my thing. I love rats. Probably, again, because I'm old, because I had a rat way back in the day. I like those pedals. So I use those. So my point is, analog, if you're using amps, digital, playing a Les Paul or a Strat or a PRS or a Gretsch, or how about you're using thick picks or thin picks, a brass slide or a glass slide, none of that matters. You should, in my opinion, you should find what works for you and then forget about it. And then work on technique and your skill and learning more about how to create music. And then just create music and don't worry about what other people think, or what you think is the best, or if you think amps are going to go extinct, or if the whole world's going digital. Who cares? Maybe they are. I don't know. Maybe we'll all have to get used to it. I don't know. There's still guitars from the 50s, 40s floating around that people are still playing. So I imagine they'll just keep fixing these amps and we can play them forever. I don't know. I do know, this is personal, how you touch it, how you play it, it all sounds something that's unique to you. And with a little luck, nobody sounds like you. And you have a style all your own and a sound all your own. And if that's digital, cool. If it's not, that's cool too. So I guess my response to saying this is the way to go, or I don't understand why anybody would use this, so on and so forth. Use whatever you like, and just find what works for you. Try different things. I'll close with this. I heard this, I think I read it. I think I read this quote from Bonamassa when he was talking about, people were asking him like what pedals he uses and what he likes and all this other stuff. And he said, go to Reverb. Say you're looking for a reverb pedal on Reverb. You go to Reverb and buy one of every one you can find. And keep the ones you like and send back the ones you don't. Well, not sell the ones you not send back. Sell the ones you don't. And then you'll whittle that down to the things that you like to play through, which I should do. I have a Cloudburst. It's cool. I could use some different reverbs, so that's some advice I should take to find the sound that I like the most, not just what everyone else uses. So that's my advice to you. Not that you asked for advice or need advice, but if you watched the video this far, that's what I would say. Find your sound, don't listen to anybody else, and make music. Be happy, make music. That's it. See you later.